All right, and welcome to this week's online edition of the Survivor Recap. I'm Brian Dummer, and I'm joined by Jake Copp for the last time.
Yeah.
Jake, thanks for joining us.
Excited.
You know, it's a big deal
Very
today
excited.
because it's your last episode here, and it's
That's right.
also the recap of the Survivor finale, in which
that
Boston
was a good
Rob, spoiler alert, won victory finally.
That's not much of a spoiler. We knew it was going to happen from the merge on.
Tell us why, Jake.
He dominated. I mean, that's the only word that comes to mind is total domination. Like Jeff said, he was like the Godfather.
It was total domination, and Jeff Probst actually commented saying, "Look, this might be the only case of the most what would you say?
The best played game.
The best
that
played
he's ever
game."
seen.
And it was really
agree.
really interesting. Now let's discuss this last episode, Jake. What did Boston Rob have to get through to make it to the end?
Well, obviously Natalie just emerged as a force. That was ridiculous, and that annoyed me.
I think you mean Ashley.
Yes, Ashley.
It's so hard to differentiate the two because
they didn't
throughout the
do
whole
anything
game,
the whole
they
game.
didn't do anything. I have to say, though, I am proud to say that, or I am proud to see, excited to see that Ashley actually did something finally in this last game. It didn't work out for her, but she was kind of making moves and starting to question Rob's leadership a little bit. What did you think of Andrea Belke? We actually saw some action from her this week.
That was the best thing that could have happened for Boston Rob, is to not have Mike come back. That would have killed him. Not having Mike back was awesome, and Andrea was always on the outs in that tribe. And her coming back and talking about how Rob was going to dominate and they should vote him off was a good idea. The girls easily could have taken Philip out, which would have been a lot smarter, since they said afterward that they knew that Rob had the idol. And that just goes to show you why they didn't win the game, and Rob did.
All right, so let's talk about the three who made it to the final three. We had Natalie, we had Philip, we had Rob. It was an interesting scene when you watched the...
That was, how did he put it? Feel. He wrote it down, P-H-I-L-E. That farmer guy, what's his name?
Yeah, Ralph.
Ralph,
You know, it was interesting. When you look at the three that were there, you had very distinct people and very distinct ways of playing the game. Let's take it one by one here, Jake. What would they have had to have done to pull off a victory? That meaning Philip and Natalie. What would they have had to have done to pull off a victory against Boston Rob?
I really don't know, because Rob just brought the weakest players he could, and it was dominant. I mean, Philip, he basically told everyone Rob was the reason he was there, and then he pretty much flipped the bird to the whole jury.
Yeah.
Except Ralph.
Which was strange, because those two really didn't get along in the show. It was really strange to see. Natalie, she was beaming with smiles throughout the entire thing.
Play a game?
What was the point of that?
I don't think she played. And I think the votes really reflected that. I mean, it was down to her and Rob, and Philip got more votes than she did.
That must feel really, really depressing to be.
She didn't do anything. I mean, she should be happy that she got where she was, but, I mean, those two could not have beaten. I mean, Ashley had a better chance. Obviously, she maybe could have gotten 1 or 2 votes. Mike, I think if he would have gotten in the finals, he would have won, obviously, because of the jury. But I think everything shook out for Rob in the end, and it was pretty obvious who was going to win.
Well, and I think we have to talk a little bit about Grant, too. What did you think of Grant in the end? The whole mix-up with Rob?
Suck it up. You're an ex-NFL player. Business is business, you know? It's a game. You should know that.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, though, Survivor isn't real life. I mean, if he doesn't want to hang with Rob, so what?
That's fine, too. Just don't be a baby about it.
You think he's being a baby?
Yeah, totally. He was about to cry last night.
I don't know. You really think he was about to cry?
Yes! Tears were welling up in his eyes. An ex-NFL player. How tough was he? Maybe there's a reason he was an ex-NFL player.
Ooh, should we put the question mark on there next time, too?
I think so, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Another thing we have to talk about, of course, is the proposal. Buzz is going on the internet about, was this a legit response?
Excited.
She didn't look too excited. In fact, she looked panicked. Here you are on live television, and you've got this guy proposing to you. I don't know. It was kind of terrifying. I cringed as David walked over there, and just watching the reaction.
She cringed.
Yeah, cringed on live TV.
The ring was pretty big, though. Huh?
That was a big ring. I don't know how much
Maybe that's
David
what
gets
sealed
paid.
the deal.
That's probably it. That's probably it. He was a lawyer, and it was interesting to see too when David got a hold of the jury. When he got his floor on the jury, he had to. He gave a speech for Rob. He was convincing the jury to vote for Rob, which isn't something you normally see on Survivor. Usually, it's directing questions at the final three. David took that opportunity to seize power, and
This jury was
I think
pretty
he was
tame,
very influential.
I think he was just pointing out what everyone already knew. I mean, it wasn't really a big case you had to make. Obviously, no one can even remember what Natalie even did all game. She basically just sat there and took up space in Rob's little tour bus of Survivor Island, and then Philip obviously was only there because he ticked everyone off except Rob. So, I mean, he really didn't do much for me. I mean, this jury was kind of boring, to tell you the truth.
All right, Jake, the last thing I want from you right now is it was revealed in last night's episode that there would be 2 returning survivors in the next season, Survivor 23, the South Pacific. Who do you want to see return, Jake?
Russell and Russell and Russell. Just more Russell.
That's 3 people.
That's what
Jake.
we need.
Jake, what?
Russell is more than one man.
Russell's more than one man. Russell's barely a man. He broke down and he was crying when he got kicked out of the game.
Jeff's going to keep his number. They probably gave him a call because people want to watch Russell. And that's why they brought him back this year. And he'll be back. You know, they'll throw some no-namer in there. But it's got to be Russell.
Here's a thought. How about Philip and Coach?
I think people would watch. I just don't think they'd make it that far.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
Philip only got that far because of Rob. I mean, throw Philip in the game again. He is out day 2. He was almost out day 2 to begin with.
That's true. And you know, once he returns too, he's going to be kind of a fan favorite, and I think he's going to be a favorite of those he's playing with. That, you know, they're going to want.
Really.
Well,
he's kind of a weirdo. I mean, how far would he make it?
I tell you what, if I'm on an island for 30 days, I'd like to keep Philip around just for laughs.
You may have been the only one other than Rob that would have kept him around.
Maybe. But hey, Rob won, and so it was beneficial for Rob. Well, Jake, I have to thank you for joining me. It's
thank you, Brian.
The last Survivor recap, and
It's a sad time.
I guess the tribe has spoken, and it's time to go.
Ouch.
We'll see you. Next season, hopefully, for maybe another Survivor recap. Jake won't be with us, but hopefully I can join you, and we'll see you again right here at the news desk for another Survivor recap for another great Survivor season. Thank you.